Hello, sketchbook heroes and sketchbook warriors. We're going to be doing and continuing the Loomis drawing head. Actually, this is really, we're going to get into the book of it. These are the drawings that we started last week from the Loomis head. This is basically just one page. You really want to draw them on your own because we don't have time to draw everything from the book. So I'm just going to try to do some of the basic stuff. Let me share my screen and we'll get into it. All right, so you can see here is the Loomis head, or actually a drawing by Loomis. It's not really necessarily the Loomis head. He uses a process, the steps, and definitely want to praise the process. How did he do this? How does he do this? This one has shading. One of our students was talking about shading and light and dark, and you can see this, and you can see the hatching here. That's going to be later, right? All this later. You can actually even see there's no line here. It just stops. Because you're really just thinking about the light and the dark, and but the structure underneath, which is here you can see the circle, and that's not even the circle that he talks about. So there's all these plates. There's a short shot to the reader. You know, he talks about humanity and how everybody's face is different. Imagine if everybody's face was the same. Really interesting short chat with the reader. The different expressions. He talks about the different expressions and the muscles and the bones and the different kinds of faces. And this was, and you can see how it's would be a solid piece, the skull. The skull is fixed, he says. Everything else is built on top of it, but there's different kinds of skulls, right? And he talks about that in here, the different kinds of skulls. But he does talk about the process and how it's like where is it? It's in here somewhere. Like a sculptor, you know, he starts off with a ball and he goes from general to specific. So that's how we're doing it, from general to specific. I would get into drawing these heads, maybe towards the end. We'll draw some of these, but these are the different kinds of heads: narrow head, high dome, low dome. And if you're watching the video, the link to this will be in the comments, in the video description. All right, and then it goes into drawing hands. All right, so let's get to work in earnest, which is serious-minded. Get to work in earnest, and you can see here like a finished product. But and let's jump in. All right. So he does talk about drawing the ball and seeing the axis. And this is why it's really important to actually have, you know, that experience where we're drawing three-dimensionally and seeing like a ball. I did cut off the sides on this and see how it changes in space. See, so this, let me close my stop and share. Well, how this moves in space. Well, I won't do that. All right, let's get to drawing. I think these plate one. Yeah, here. Yeah, why don't we draw these heads here? Yeah, we'll go ahead and do these. All right, let's do these. So if you haven't had a screenshot, let me put this in the chat as well. So if you don't have this, if you want to follow along there, let's put this in the chat. All right, go paste. Is that it? Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I have to delete all this other stuff. There we go. That should be it. Let me see if I can get to it. Oh, you might have to copy and paste. That should work. All right, here we go. Yeah, there it is. All right, so it's page 13 or 14, something like that. Oh, 22. We'll do page 22. All right, let's get going on this. There we go. So he does talk about the two parts. So he talks about the sphere and really getting that sphere, that circle in, and how that circle changes, right? How it changes as it turns. So it does have an axis line. If we're looking at it straight, And that's the first one. We're looking at it straight. So let me turn my camera around. There we go. Here's my circles, just sketched in circle. And put in the axis line straight across. Let's go across here and across there. All right. And he talks about this axis here is actually the top of the brow. And this is basically how we've been drawing heads. This is where it's broken down into thirds. And this would be where the nose is. From here, the top of the brow and then the nose. And then he calls it the plane, right? So the plane comes off of that. He cuts off the sides of this sphere, because it's not a circle, it's a sphere. It's a sphere, so it's different. So he cuts off the sides. Now we're cutting off the sides here of our sphere, and we're getting something like that right here, right? And then he adds a plane. Let me see. That one's straight ahead. Yeah, we'll do the straight ahead one. And it's usually like from here to here, that distance is the 1/3, and usually down here. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but when you just try to get it to be about the same, and it just comes down like that to that point. You would get jaw lines depending on the jaw coming out like that to that jaw.
I'm sorry, Ladio, which page did you say you're on?
We're on page 22, the book 22. Yeah.
Because I took a screenshot of it, and I just want to see.
Sure.
What's at the top of that page?
Above it is a plate. It's plate. It says plate 1 is the
That's
one.
the one with there's a circle with an like the top of the skull looking down.
Here, let me share my screen. Okay, so all right. So it's this one here. It's the circle.
Okay, got it. Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Plate 2, the all-important cross on the ball. That's what we're doing. The all-important cross on the ball. Here's the cross, and you can see how it changes, right, in each one. So this one's straight ahead. This one's like an orthographic view, looking straight. This one is a 3/4 view, and we're looking down on it. Notice how it curves this way, how it curves that way. We're looking down, and on this face, we're looking down as well, but it's looking, this character is looking down to the right, and this character here, he's looking up and to the right, right? And you can see how the sides are cut off on each of those. So we'll draw these 4 together. And then up here, you can see it broken down here. So there's the hairline, there's the brow line, and that's the how it's broken into the different parts, where you can see the circle cut off. The brow line and the nose. And the nose is right at the bottom of that sphere, just like we draw it. So the top is the eyebrow, the brow line, and then the nose line. Right in here, it's the same thing, the brow line, and then the bottom is where the bottom of the nose is, right? Okay, that kind of gives you a point where we're going. We're drawing this first one, then we'll draw the second one. And that changes the angle there. All right, well, let's just do it. Here we go. Let's go back. There we go. So we have this. Let's finish this one up. So this is the top of the brow, and here's the thirds. Another good thing to do is to get magazines and do that with the magazines. And this is one of the ones that I want to kind of do. Let's get this. And you can see it here. And his bottom thirds is really wide. So the bottom of his nose, there's that right there, the bottom of his nose, the top of the brow, which is where the hat is. And then you can see the bottom of his chin here. And you can see the distance from here to here compared to that it's a little bit wider here, right? But if you were to draw this character and then see that parts and take these measurements onto a magazine, that would be really good. Let me share one more and then we'll go back. Here it is, this one here. So the top of the brow, bottom of the nose, and then the chin. And on this one, you can see the thirds is different. The proportions are different. Here, it's wider here, and here it's not as wide, especially compared to the man. right? And that proportions, how big this is compared to this is crucial, right? So here's our circle for the head, right where the nose is. You can see that circle, that ball, and then the plane kind of coming down. All right. And just practice the drawing, practice looking at pictures. Here it is. Let's just break it down a little bit. We're going to add the center here is where the eyes would be, somewhere right in here. That's where the eyes kind of go. And this is a forward-looking face, so that makes it easier. And then you break that in half and half again. So the eyes are going to be in this area here. Eyes are going to be in this area here. And what I mean by half and half again, you can see that. This is half of the circle. From here to here, that's half. And then here to here, that's half. So we're really just breaking it half and half again. So let me do it again. Nice and slow. So
half of from the circle or from the plane to the middle?
yeah, let me get a little bit closer and
Yeah.
do it again. I'm going to try to do it as clear as possible. Yeah, it's like just half and half and half, and it can be confusing. Let me zoom
Yeah.
in. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it is. Let me see. Here we go. All right, let's get a little closer. There we go. That's better. Okay, so here's our whole, which is the circle.
Mhm.
Here's the
Mhm.
half. Here's the first half, right?
Mhm.
And then this eye is in this half. So from here to here,
Okay.
and then here, that's the half. And then
Okay.
the width of this eye is half that space. So from here to here, try to eyeball it, and that's where that half is. Right. Same thing on this side, half on that side. So the eye is going to go from here to there and fit in that space. Right. And I'll just I'm just going to shade a simple
What is distance below the eyebrow line?
the brow line, the brow. Yeah, this is the brow line. Yeah, that's it up there. And it kind of comes in. How far down? Well, this is usually this eye level is right in the middle of this whole thing structure here. So the top of the head to the bottom of the chin, the eyes should be kind of like right in the middle. So let's see if we can measure that. Get this paper here. So that's the other one. So the thirds is to the top of the eyebrow to the bottom of the nose to the bottom of the chin. These are all thirds. And that's the same as the here because that's the half of that circle. Right. So yeah, all these proportions and stuff, it's kind of confusing at first, but then you just practice them and you do them and you get them and you'll see them. You actually see them, especially if you draw them onto magazines, you see the thirds. And this should be the middle, but here it's actually, I don't know where the top of the head is because of the hat. But it should be, well, this is probably, his eyes are probably higher up. He's got a really big area in here. And for the girl, let's see where her eyes should be kind of in the middle. Top of her head is out there. So if we go here, measure this, with an actual measure from right about there to down here. You see it's a little bit more than 3 inches. Bring that up. There it is. And it could be that, the top of the head actually goes up even higher. Oh, I was too close. Or what I'm showing here. Yeah, there we go. For the center of the eyes and the space here and the space up there. Right. Camera angle can change things too, because I think that the camera angle might be a little bit high. All right, let's go back. There we go. All right. So yeah. So close. There we go. That's better. And then the shapes of the eyes and all that stuff that comes with time and practice. Here, the width of this from here to here, that's how wide the nose is. Right in here. And then we have different shaped noses and stuff. And then the cheekbones. The cheekbones go in here. Right in here. Some cheekbones. And then in here, the mouth. Now the width of the mouth usually goes out to where the center of this eye. So the center of the eye, you bring it down, and that's how wide the mouth usually is. Right, the mouth is usually about this wide. Right, and those are the important landmarks to look for. Then you get the lips, depending. And the top lip is darker. The bottom lip is rounder, a little bit wider. And this is the basic structure of a forehead, of the head. We've done this before. You can see how Loomis's head is just actually that sphere is cut off at the sides. And then you would add the ears. Ears usually go where the brow is, from the top of the brow to the bottom of the nose. Usually the ears kind of fit in that space. So just go out one angle and then in an angle. And he doesn't have them drawn. I'm just drawing them in on this character. Let's get to another one. All right. Yeah, there. All right, let's go to the other one. This one's going to be a little bit tougher. So this one's going to be a little bit tougher. We're going to start off with a circle again. This one is at an angle, right? So this one's at an angle. This angle is, we're going to have the axis line coming down here and around right there, like that. And then we have the other axis line up and over, actually where my shading is. Go darker because there it is. That's it. Okay, so you can see that. And this is the important X that he talks about, right? Because our top, we're looking down on it. And there we go, that's it. There we go. All right. So you should have that. We're going to go ahead and cut the circle in there. So right in here in this area, he has that circle cut. That's this circle. On that sphere, that's the flat part. One thing he does actually mention, like where the ear is. So if we cut this into another axis line, because it is at an angle, probably a little bit more. There we go. That angle. The ear, he says, fits in here. The ear fits in this quadrant in the book, if you read it. The ear fits in this quadrant right in there, right about there in that quadrant. All right, and this kind of comes out, and then you have the plane of the face kind of coming out this way. Right, the bottom of the nose will be somewhere right in here, and then the this plane here. So this kind of comes down here, this kind of comes down here. All this is kind of like almost parallel. These lines right here, these three, 1, 2, 3, kind of coming down in that same direction. This is that jawline. And here's the chin here. And this center piece kind of comes down there. So this is a 3/4 view. And we're actually looking down on it. So that makes it a little more complex. All right, now I'm going to break this apart. So from here, I'm going to go on the outside. Here's the brow. That's the brow line. That's the center of that circle. Comes in, and then it goes out for the this cheek, the cheekbone. And then it comes in. Right there. Now we're going to put the nose in. The nose fits in that quadrant, and it's sticking out. So right in here, right in that this line, that center, comes into that center line, and then it comes out to that cheekbone, right in here at that angle. And then he's got the bottom of the nose. So I'm just doing a straight line, and then the bottom of the nose curves in for that nostril, and then he has it curving out like this. And at this point in time, we're just drawing what we see. we'll get into, I guess he gets into specifics of each one, drawing the noses and drawing all the other stuff. There's a little bit of a shadow underneath because it is three-dimensional. And this is where beginners would struggle, or if you're struggling, that's okay. This is three-dimensional. So seeing three-dimensional space is a struggle at first. One thing here now with the eyes will be going in the same direction as this brow up here, and they're going to be right in here. So they kind of curve like this. See how I'm echoing this top brow. That's where this eye is going to be here. And it does change a little bit as the head is tilted. This one's further back, it's smaller back there. And then here, this one is right in here, right about there. He doesn't have any pupils for this one. We're gonna break down the plane on this left side now. The plane kind of comes forward from here to the brow. It goes forward. You can see this line here. It goes forward, and then it goes back. It opens up. It's kind of like this on this side, echoing this part. Kind of goes back, and then it goes forward, echoing the cheekbone. Then it goes back down on this line right in here. Notice that zigzag, kind of like S or Z, backwards Z shape. All right, let's put the mouth in. And notice how it curves along that plane. It's going up. Watch that angle. A little bit of the top of the lip. And then bottom of the lip. And give the chin a little more shape. The jawline. Back up. That's pretty much what that one is like. Now, if you want to go at your own pace, have the book, trying to draw at an easy pace, not too fast, not too slow. There we go. All right, let's do the other two. Start off with the sphere again. And get the axis lines. Here's my sphere. Axis line is coming from up here. Then it goes down. And then on this side, it goes around like in here. Right in there, probably tilts up a little more curved. And until you get like this angle here, that angle, and that angle, almost straight up and down. There it is, right in there. That's what we're looking at. We're going to cut off the side. It goes oval in here. It's an oval because the head is turned in space. So you wouldn't draw it as a circle. And that part is cut off. That's this part cut off. You see, as it turns into an oval. This circle part. So circle part. Should use a marker. And my dirty clay. There we go. Yeah, that circle. You can see it change into an oval. And that's what's happening there. All right, there's our foundation. We have our sphere. Our circles cut off. Let's get that plane. That plane just kind of pretty much comes down and right in here, right in the front part. This plane part is down here. And you can get that. Here's where the nose is going to be, right at the bottom of that sphere. And then below that, a third of the way is the bottom where the chin is going to be. Kind of like going in that same direction. And they actually would go to a vanishing point these lines, all these lines would probably go to a vanishing point. These three, 1, 2, 3, go to a vanishing point to the right.
Eladio, I can't see your jaw, the jaw. Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. Let me zoom out a little bit as well. There it is. This comes down, so this angle here, that angle there, and here's the plane. That's the plane of the face. All right, so there's the structure. Now we're going to build on top of that. We're going to build on top of that. And
It's like your sound disappeared. You don't hear it.
Yeah, I don't hear him either. I thought it was just me.
No, I don't hear.
I thought he had just stopped talking.
Yeah, I thought the same, but it's not looks like.
I'm back. Sorry about
Okay, thank you.
that. Oops. All right. So no, yeah, I know I stopped talking. Well, okay, but you can see here I broke this down into fourths, and then the ear is going to be in this quadrant back here. So this ear is going to be in here in this quadrant, right? That quadrant or that spot. Let me see, here it is. I'm putting that ear in now. And then here. Okay. And this goes forward. And I did put the jawline in here. That jawline goes right in front of that ear. Probably bring that ear down a little bit. There it goes. Let's do the front. So this top line here is the brow. It goes in and then it goes out, but it doesn't really show it out on this one. And the nose comes, the brow, there's a little bit of cut in on that one. And then it goes out in this space right in here. He really does mention in the written part how important it is to understand form and making it solid, right? So seeing three-dimensional form. So that's the bridge of the nose, then the bottom of the nose here goes down, and then it goes in for that nostril. And then the nostril part right in here at the bottom of that sphere. All right, let's zoom in a little bit. Right in here. So it goes in to the center line, then it goes out. And there we go. Then here, this is where the that whole, and it's actually kind of dark. We didn't actually, sometimes you don't even have to draw the and you'll see it's just like this hole is a plane. And if the light is there, this is you know, all in shadow. So here we have the brow. It comes out and then it goes in. Right here, there's that bone. There's a bone right in there. Goes out, goes in, and then it goes out here. And this is where that cheek is, that cheekbone right in there. So you can see how that goes. So it goes out, in, and then out where that cheekbone is. Right in here where the cheekbones are. Here's another cheekbone on this side. It just shows it like that. And then on this side, I'll do this eye in here as it comes up to the brow. And we are looking down on it. So that whole space is a little bit different. But what's important is getting that angle. That angle. Let me put the eyes a little bit further apart. There, and then And I'm gonna just shade it in. I'm just gonna shade all this in. I'm gonna shade all this in right in here. Leave a little bit of that bridge as it comes down. And if you want that shaded, they can all be shaded right in there. Bottom of the nose. Shaded. Let's do the mouth. And notice the angle of this. All this is in that angle. So there's the center of my mouth, the top lip, and then he has it actually a dip at the left. So there's a little bit of a dip. And then we have the bottom lip coming up and around like that. The chin, his chin does protrude a little bit. Comes in the space. Comes up. And here, I'm gonna have to readjust this angle. Kind of coming back in here. Yeah, there we go, right there. I brought it up. And then here. He has it go straight up. Sometimes there's a little bit of an angle right in here. It's not totally 90 degrees right in here. This is, you know, about that many degrees here. You can see this angle here. So this is a good thing to look for. Sometimes it's 90 degrees. Sometimes it's slightly angled this way. And that's it for this head. Let me see. I think we can put the inside parts of the ear a little bit. He does have a hairline. Let's get that hairline in here. So right in here is that hairline. So here's the, I don't know what that is called right there, but here where the temple comes up and then it goes up like that. Right, this part to the temple. Then it goes in. And then the hair kind of sticks out because it's on this whole mass thing here. Bring it up. Yeah, the hair would be actually on top of the skull. It would be above, going above. So inside is that sphere. The hair mass is on top of that. There we go. All right, let's do one more. And we're actually doing pretty good. Oh, it's 6:05. We'll keep going. This one actually you get to see the face a little bit more. Let's zoom out. This one's looking up and to the right. Let's go in here. Let's draw it big. Let's go bigger with this one. This one has quite a bit of detail. Actually, you can see because of the angle, you'll see more of the face here on this one. So we're starting off with the circle. Here's our center line. Looking up. It's almost like we're doing the moon, right? The moon shadow. A little bit of a crescent moon. Right in there like that. And then you've got this other line kind of coming across over the top. It's top half. And then it goes down. And it's going a little more down here because it's this is the cutoff circle part down in here. Let's see, here we go. All my scribbles. So you can see this, here's the X. Notice this angle here and then this angle there, almost straight, and then it actually curves kind of down as it comes down here. Then he has it at this angle as well. That's it. So you should have that. That's the beginning. That's the structure we're building on. Let's get that plane out. So from here, plane comes out. Here the plane comes out. Actually, this is the plane coming out. Plane coming out. What's up with this one is he's actually looking really up. So the nose is way up here, actually. The nose is going to be way up here. Now let's take a look at the plane. The plane kind of comes actually out and then down on this one. This angle here is a little more interesting. It coming down here. Oh, I know what's happening. It's the point of view because we're looking. Right. Oh, that does change things. Okay. So the nose is actually way up here. It's not underneath this sphere. It's because we're looking up at it. We're looking up at this whole piece. So this is the front plane. This is the front plane. There's the chin, and this is the jaw as it comes back into space right in here. Yeah, this one's probably the toughest angle. This is the toughest angle. This one's really tough. All right. Let's see if we can break this in here now. All right, I'm going to start off with the nose. So this is the brow. The nose, the bottom of the nose is going to be right here. Then it's going to be the mouth right about in there. And then everything else is going to fit in that space. So this one has a lot more delineation than the other ones. And delineation is a little more clear as far as what we're looking for. Here's the, as it goes in, the nose, and then it comes out, the bridge, the nose, and there's a little more detail on this nose as it goes out and then comes back in, right in here, at those two angles. Right. Let's get the nostril on the right. Put that in there like that. And there's a little nostril inside. And then the nostril on the left. This is the whole part. And then the as it goes around. Like that. Working up that shape. So there we go. He does mention how important it is to see this form, and this helps you with getting that solid solidness and the proportions, as opposed to just drawing the eyes and drawing the nose. That's how most beginners do it, is what he mentions in the writing. All right, let's put this eye in here at that angle. It should fit right in here. We're going to go up and around and in there like that. And he's got these ghost eyes up in that space right there like that. He's kind of looking up, so this is kind of going down. And there we go. All right. Kind of having trouble seeing the rhyme to it. We kind of just have to go with it. It might not be the greatest one. It is a tough one. The lips, we're going to go higher with them. And then it comes down in this space like that. There's that lip. Kind of like that. Let me zoom in. There we go. That's better. It looks like a Mayan head because of the outline. And then in here, the bottom lip, right in there, at that slight angle. I'm going to do this outside the profile. So here's the as it goes in. This is the that top bone. And then here, this is the cheekbone. Right in here is that cheekbone as it goes out and then in. And then bring that down like that. Here we go. This whole space right in there. That's it. There we go. Might be a little bit on the long side. That's okay. Give it a little more forehead up here. This head is looking up, so you can see underneath from here, this chin goes back and then it goes down for the neck, like he's looking up. So the neck in and then down. The cheekbone on the left side, there's the cheekbone here, and then it kind of follows that front plate or front plane like that. There we go. Kind of like that. And all this is a separate plane. I think we might jump into the planes next and then call it a night. There's one that's a really nice set of planes drawings. But this is just kind of like getting the sense of the that important plus and the axis lines. All right, let me get that rest in here, and then we'll go into the planes. So this coming here, the temple, this circular part, and then it goes into the temple up, then the hair's like on top of this whole piece. We're looking up at it as the hair goes on top, down at an angle. Curves around the sphere, kind of like that. Let's get that ear in here. The ear is actually crossing above that axis line because of our angle, because we're looking up and this protrudes. It sticks out, but it starts right in here, right where that quarter part is. It protrudes out. It's coming down at this angle in this, again, that quadrant. Right in there, that ear. If you want to do the inside part and the other parts, he doesn't have it, but something like that. Now for the neck, comes back, and then it just straight down from here. And he's got another line in here. I guess this is the sternocleidomastoid that goes behind. Something like that. There you go. This is a really tough angle. So, I mean, I think I'm not nailing it myself. But what's important is the process, the process. There we go. And this hair, I guess it probably goes back in here, this hairline. And he also has this line down here. All right, the other ones are going to be a little bit better. Let me share my screen and we'll jump onto those. I think that's going to, you'll see. Here we go. All right, so we'll scoot down. If you have a chance, draw the other ones when you get a chance. The all-important cross on the ball, that's what this is, the cross on the ball, being able to see that cross. That's the one that's above on the eyebrow. And that's what that one talks about. We're going to jump to the planes. So here we go. It's very similar. And this one, you can have the cross again. This is page 25 now. But we're going to jump to, and you can see, oh, here's the thirds. There's that half, the thirds, and the fourths. What we've talked about earlier in establishing the middle line, how important that is. And, oh, the skull. This is really good. Well, we're going to jump to, yeah, the skull simplified. We're going to jump to the planes. Pivot. Heads pivoting. Here we go. Where's the planes at? There's the planes. So considering the head is round, there are planes. We can actually chisel them out. So these are the chiseled planes. So we'll draw these four. The front view and then the side view. Actually, this is really just two. So it really breaks it down. These three right here, the top two and the one on the left is all the same drawing. And then this one is a
Eladia, what page is that on?
this is on page 33. All right, so let's go with that one. Page 33. All right, let's do that. All right, here we go. So we're starting off with our sphere. This head is there's a slight, it's slightly to the right. So this it's if you went off the middle, it's going to be slightly to the right. It's not a 3/4 view totally. So just a slightly tilted view. So if we just get that slight tilt right in there. And then let's get our X. The X is actually, this one is pretty close to straight across. It doesn't have it, but it's
You
going to
put
be
more
in
in
there.
the center, Eladia? Thank you.
Yes. All right. Thank you. There it is. So here's my circle. Here's my side. There's a little bit of side view down here. And then we've got, I'm going to zoom out a little bit more because we actually go down. He actually goes down. So the nose is going to be right about there. And then we got our thirds down here. So the distance from here to here and the distance from here to here. The chin is going to be right there. Okay, so we have you should have this now. The sides are cut off here. This side up here. That side's cut off, and then this side you won't be able to see it, but it's going to be cut off slightly on this side. That sphere. Yep. So this plane goes back in space. So this is the plane that comes out. This line right here, that's the brow. Then it comes down into space at this angle here, and then we're going to go across there. The bridge of the nose comes in, kind of like a tie, right in here, a little triangle. And it closes off like that. The top part of a tie. And then it comes, we'll get the bridge of the nose coming down at a slight angle because it is facing the right. Comes out. And this is the plane. Went out like that. The bottom of the nose goes in like that. And then the nostrils like that, like two little triangles on the side. It's a really simplified nose, just the planes. We're going to add another plane here on the side of the nose. So it comes down and then out. And it's simplified. It's simplified. All these angles are simplified. They do have a cast of this, or a 3D model of this. They have a computer one, and they also have like a printed one. It's good to see these models. So this goes across here, then it goes up there, right there. Those angles there. He doesn't have it shaded in, but I'm going to go ahead and shade all this in. All this would be in dark because it's going back into space and the light doesn't hit it. So there it is, right in there. That's it. The brow, this one would be slightly in shade as well, but slightly. The bottom of the nose definitely would be in shade because it's the bottom of the nose. Shade that slightly. You can get a sense of the planes. And the plane kind of continues. And then it comes down at an angle. Down. Should go down to there. I think the head might be coming up. But he has it come down here to the chin. Like that. These two angles down to the chin. That center. And then here it breaks. I would probably just put a slight angle to it as it comes back into space. It's not going to go down this far. This chin part, I'm going to go out at angles, and then the bottom of the chin right in there, these planes. There it is. There's the chin. And then this coming this way, and then this coming that way. These two angles, one angle here, one angle there. The jawline on the right. Put the jawline on the left. This should actually come up to the center of our axis up here. And the ear should be up in there. It's all right. He has it coming straight down there, and then it comes out at an angle to the bottom of that chin right in there. Let's get that ear in here. That ear is going to be in that quadrant. He really has it broken down into blocks. So here's the top of the ear, as in two little lines there. Then it cuts off. Then it comes down and breaks angle. There's two angles. That angle straight up and down, and then this angle at an angle there. And then the lobe kind of swoops in right in there. All right, we're going to build on top of that, build the head on top of that. He really doesn't, oh yeah, there, he does have the, this is, I'm looking at the first one. He starts breaking these down into smaller parts. We should actually look at, yeah, those are the main planes. Let's do the temple. There's a temple line in here. Kind of comes back up. This temple line right in there. That temple line. And I'll break it up into more spaces. Yeah, because he does, as it goes through, he does break it down even further and further till it gets to the last face there, which is kind of interesting because it actually makes it more of a frontal face than the other faces are. This is more of a slight turn to it. So we'll do something in the middle. All right, so he does have this forehead broken down into 3 planes. Bring it up at an angle there, and it up at an angle here, this plane there. Then he's got the hairline coming up and down in the middle as it comes right in there. And there's the forehead. That's the forehead with the hairline right in there. We'll do the temple. We'll get that hairline first. Now the temple on the left. The left temple, we're going to go straight down and then back and then down again and then back again. Right, so this is that hairline where the temple is. Now he does a thickness for the hair. So we're going to add a thickness to this hair. We're going to widen it up, give this other plane as it tapers open and then tapers open. And then just echoes. It really just kind of echoes our hairline. Notice how I'm just going back and forth, back and forth. Here, there's a center line as it goes back at an angle, back up, and down on that plane. All right, I'm going to bring up the hair a little bit on this side, that plane right there, and up here, bring that up as well. Notice the angles, capture the angles to the best you can. You'll feel sometimes some resistance. I know it's sometimes you're struggling, and that's okay. Yeah, it makes your brain actually remember. Your brain remembers the struggle and tries to stay away from struggle, but then it'll in your sleep or in your consolidate that, like, okay, I'm looking for the angles. I'm looking for how it all fits together. I'm looking at the form and the structure, the 3D structure on a flat surface, which is all these angles and stuff. Yeah, I'm not getting that accurate. So we have another plane. These two lines right in here. This should kind of be coming up. Kind of comes up to this point right here, this point right here, this angle up and this angle up, and then swoops down. See, this whole is almost like a plane, like a sheet of paper right in here. Each one of these is a plane. This one curves a little more, and then it goes straight down here. This one at an angle should probably come back a little bit more. I'm going to add a little bit more space here. A little more hair, bring that back, because this angle should almost be straight up and down. If anything, actually even should be pointing out the opposite way. Yeah, forcing it. All right. It breaks down the under the nose. I'm gonna go for the mouth. The mouth, I'm gonna put it right in here. It fits in this space. Back and forth. It's broken down with the triangle right in there like that. And that triangle. And then two smaller triangles on the side like that. The lip. And the bottom lip. And then it coming up on the sides. And because it's rounder and fuller, they don't have it coming to a point. They have it coming to just to a little plane up like that. They do break down that space even a little bit more by bringing it out. So here's the mouth. I'll give you a second to do that. While I shade the top lip, I'm just going to shade the top lip really quickly to push it back as it's going back in space, kind of like the eyes do. And then I'll do the other plane where the lips are. All right, let's see. It does break it down into some more planes in here. I mean, every time you subdivide it, you break it down and kind of like into more planes and makes it a little more accurate. So from the nose, this comes out right in here. Yeah, this right in here. There's a 1, 2, 3 in drawing number 2, kind of coming out like that, with this coming out like right in here. This other triangle right in there like that. And then this just gets broken down into another plane. 1, 2 more angles, and then cuts out and back and back. I feel like my chin is big. I think I might be changing the proportions a little bit. It's okay. What's important is seeing the planes, and basically it's really just these planes, kind of like pieces of paper, each at a different angle, right? So that's what's happening here. This plane here is probably like at that angle there. This one, the top one is probably straight ahead. This one's going slightly that way. Each one of these is a different plane, different angle. I think I have too much chin, but that's okay. All right, I'm going to add the neck. The neck goes from behind the ear straight down. Right here on this other side, down, and then the this would come down to the sternum, like right in here. Something like that. All right. He does break it down further on the next drawing, but I think we're going to keep it at that. Let's do the second drawing, and then we'll go on from there. This one, I think my proportions are kind of interesting. This I think, yeah, my chin, yeah, because look at my thirds. See here, the top of the brow, the nose, and then if I bring that down, that should be actually the bottom of the chin. I've actually extended the chin way too much, but you can change the angles. See, you can change these angles, fix it up. I'm going to bring my chin up. Keep your chin up. Yeah, that makes a difference. My proportions were off. There we go. That looks better. But you see, I can check. That's better. The top of the brow, the bottom of the nose, that's my third. Yeah, there you go. Bring that down. Maybe thin out the neck a little bit more. All right. We didn't totally nail that one. That's okay. Let's try to get the next one. The next one will be the last one, 6:34. It'll take us to 7 o'clock, and we'll share out. Draw these on your own. Draw these on your own. I know we might be going too fast. We might be going too slow. Look at these drawings. Look at the different angles, the tilting head. The next one is on perspective. We'll do that. We'll continue that next week. On page, what page is that? Page 30, 35, page 35. All right, let's do this one. All right, let's do the side view. All right, so I'm going to start off with my sphere again. Let's move that paper. Using a pen tonight. Here's my sphere. And then breaking it into fourths. Bringing it into fourths. And in this fourth, let's see, let's do our thirds. This is the top of the brow. This is going to be the bottom where the nose is going to be. And then, oh yeah, the ear is going to fit in here. This one's going to be good. This one's going to be good. This is going to end on a high note here. This one is going to be really good. All right, so make sure you have your circle. Make sure it's broken into fourths. And then here we go. Here's our bottom. There's that one. And then we're going to fit our ear in here. We're going to fit the ear. The ear is going to, I'm going to just sketch it in. The ear is should be right about in here. In that quadrant. And then we're going to go ahead and let's do the nose. All right, so the nose having a hard time seeing where he actually thinks the sphere is. But I think the nose should come out right in here. And at that angle. And then there's a bulb. There's a bulb of a nose. So the nose bulbs out. Kind of sticks out a little bit. And then it comes in. Kind of like that. And then in like that. Notice the angles. And then this like that. And then the lip out like that. Right in there, we're attaching it. And then the brow goes forward and then back in that space. And there's the brow. It's going back and forth a little bit for the forehead. Some different planes. Right in there like that. That's pretty good. I'm going to do the nostril. There's a little bit of a nostril in here. Side view. He really breaks things into these forms. I'll do like a block right in here. He has another 2 lines right in here, just showing like that's a different plane. Even the top of the nose, it's got another plane line right in there. Okay, I'm going to sketch in the this line here. This is the where the temple goes. Kind of comes down at that angle. Then it comes down at that angle. Looks like he has 2 planes here. But we're doing that one. We'll do the inside part of the face first. That's probably the hardest part, like right in here. Start off with the eyebrow. Eyebrows going up at an angle to the brow line, that brow line up here. There's a thickness to that eyebrow. That's the eyebrow here. And then it comes down at an angle right there. Shade it all in. There's the eyebrow. All right, now this eye is in here, like right in here. Now this eye is round and it's inside. It's probably about this big right in there. But we only see this one little part right here, this part right here, that part. But you have to understand the solid eye inside so we can get that. So there's that, this one little part right here. And then the eyelid that kind of goes over it. This eyelid that goes over it. And actually even overlaps, comes over and then down right in there, just like that. And this other eyelid, the bottom one, coming down like that. But it's this that's really important. And seeing that, feeling that form that's in there. There we go, that's good. You have the inside of the eye going down this way, or a little part of that inside. What's crucial here is this kind of like overlap. Okay, so if you see this line right here, that's part of that sphere that's right there, and then you see this eyelid kind of like overlap. It goes over, right? That part right there. There. There's a little bag right in there. 10 cents a bag. But ups. Where is that guy? telling the jokes. It's a little serious today. Didn't get my sleep or something. I don't know what it is. Yeah, let's see how many people are. Hey, everyone, I'm here. All right, Josh. Good to see you. How many people are here? Let me see. Spence. All right. 12 of you. Good. And we dropped some people, but it's all good. It's not as, I don't know, this intense study is a little intense. All right. One thing I look for is from the tip of the nose to the tip of the chin. Usually, let's see this angle here. I'm seeing this angle from the tip of the nose to the tip of the chin, and this is where this bottom of the ear also. They have two parts. They have this one curve that kind of comes out like this, like that. In this area, that area there, these two angles. So now we can go ahead and do the lips in between and the chin as well. So I'm going to go in here and in this space, do the outline or the profile. So you got the top lip going in, and then the bottom lip going out, and then the under the bottom lip, it goes in, then it curves out to the chin. In the chin, there's two angles. There's the angle that going out, and then the angle going down, and then back. You can see how it fits there like that. Let's do the inside of the mouth. It's not just the profile, you can see it come in. Top lip, a little bit of a curve, and then down. And this should line up as well, like to the middle of the eye as we're going up. Some of the same things, even though it's profile. Here's the middle of the eye as it comes down. That's bring that lip back. This whole space, that helps a lot. There's that bottom lip coming up. All this would be in shade as it goes back into space. A little bit of a plane there. Another plane. Yeah, it's looking good. All right. He's got a lot of bumps. His forehead. This plane kind of going up. This is where the temple is. Temple Grandin right here. Just make it go back. And then it goes back to the forehead right in there. And then right in here, they actually start the hairline. So here's where they have the hairline, that angle, this angle here. And then let's go down right in there. And then back. And then down. So that ear is in that quadrant. Let's go back a little bit. There we go. It's coming in, coming in. If you have to make adjustments, make adjustments. What's important is seeing these planes. Like this whole thing, I can, if I were to shade it, this is all one plane right in there. That's a plane. See, if the light was hitting it, this is where shading, you'd shade. I'm doing some cross hatching with the pen. If you have that really thick carpenter's pencil or that architect's pencil, that would be good to shade it like that in there. He does break this into another plane as it comes back this way. Breaks into that, and then he breaks into that, kind of like right in there. These two planes right there. He even breaks that one more time. He keeps subdividing. So this is going to be subdivided one more. Right in here, it goes up above the chin. Then it goes back. Then it goes up, back up to the cheekbone, like right in there. And then he would probably shade that. All this whole area. Shade it back. All right, so from the bottom of the chin, it goes in, comes down at a little slight angle, then it goes straight down, then it goes back at that angle. This is the Adam's apple as it comes down. And bring this up a little bit. Adjusting that. All right, we're almost there. Let's get this ear in there. Let me zoom back in. There you go. It's looking actually pretty interesting. This ear, the spacing is really important. Straight across to the top. Angle here. Two angles here. One, that one, bigger. And then this one right in here, too. So you can see the top. That's 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And then again, 5 right in there. 5. That should be good. That's the outside of the ear. Inside of the ear. Back and forth. There's the tragus. That's it. And then the inner ear inside, coming back and in. Just gonna go back around. Well, that's good. That's good enough. See if there's anything in the chat. No, that's it. All right, good.
Claudio,
Yes.
I got really kind of lost under the nose.
Okay.
Could you go over that shape again, like going from the nose to the lip to the chin?
Sure. Watch this. Let me see. Where's my tracing paper? All right, I'll do it over again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So from the top of the nose, there's this angle here. This angle here to the chin. Let me get this ear in here. Still the same angle. I'm gonna bring it down though, because I brought my paper up. Here's the brow. Here's the nose. This is gonna be simplified because there's more shapes in there. But from the circle and where our ear is, here's our ear. You can see that it drops right where that center line is, and then this is that jaw. There's that jaw that's in here. So this chin right in here and this angle. I go back and forth. So I'm going to simplify this, but it's the nose kind of comes in, then it goes out, then it goes in, then it usually kind of rounds out the bottom, this bottom lip. But you can see this shape right in here, because this line really helps nail that in there, that bottom lip, and then it goes out to that chin. Kind of looks like little mountains and stuff as it comes back and forth. So hopefully that helps. I did simplify it more. He does have a little more ridges and more stuff. As I move it, you'll see that there's more stuff happening. But simplified, it's really just going in, out, and then in and out. And he subdivides it a little bit more. So if I were to put this lip, then he pushes it down like that, and then the lip kind of comes in, and this bottom lip, yeah, right in there. This top lip comes in and then down like that. He does have a little bit of a thickness in here, right at that edge of that lip. And then this comes out as far as that center of that eye. Hopefully that clarifies it, because yeah, there's a lot going on there. I did round this out, but yeah, it's actually probably better doing it 2 angles, coming out and then in. Does that help?
Yeah, but I still am.
Let's try it one more time. Here, let me see. My tracing paper. It's in. I don't have that notebook in front of me. Okay. One more time. Okay, so just do it really quick. On top, we have our circle head broken into fourths. The ear, this ear right in that spot. The bridge of the nose kind of coming out, and it depends on the nose, but usually have that bulb right in there, because it doesn't come straight to a point. It comes in, but from this tip of the nose, this angle. Actually, here's another angle too you want to be on the lookout for. The tip of the nose this way. So the tip of the nose to the forehead, this angle here. Let's get this. Yeah, this angle here. Great. And then this angle to the chin. Right. Now what's happening here is we need to find out where the center of the mouth is. That mouth is going to be right in here. So where the nose is, it comes in and then it goes out, then it goes in, then it goes out, then it goes in. This here is the top lip. Going up and back, that top lip right in here. This is actually a shape or a plane. This would be one plane. So in this plane, it goes up and then down. Like that. And then this one goes out. And he's got it kind of curved around up into that spot. Goes in. Then it comes out. And he's got his chin kind of like that.
We could see the bottom.
Oh, yeah. Oof. Like that. So that's like that, yeah. A little bit of a struggle. Almost having it side by side would really help. That'd be interesting. I'm gonna do that side by side to get these different planes. This is another little plane right in there. This one has more detail. You can see that one has more detail, but these simplifying these planes, almost like if you were making it out of metal or like a robot, you'd have these planes because they're just basically just simplifying these planes. This would come out here, and you'd have this other plane as it goes back, like a folded sheet of paper. Here's this chin. And then it would go, he has 2 planes. As it goes back, this chin here, as it goes back into that space. And then all this would be, because it's darker, the light's not hitting it, all this would be in shade in here. So these planes, there it is, gets it going like that.
Thanks, Eladio.
All right, you're welcome. Yeah, so Hopefully that helps. We've got that one, and then I had another one. Where'd the other one go? Okay. All right, let's finish this up. There we go. All right, so here we have the muscle that goes behind the ear down here. This is the sternocleidomastoid, and it's a muscle. It's almost like a cone shape back in here, and this goes to the sternum, and then it comes out. The back of the head, we're gonna attach it. All right, you're welcome. Sorry, it was a little bit of a struggle, but yeah, it's all good. So the back of the head, we're gonna get come back up in here, and then go at an angle there, another angle there. The hairline comes out at this angle, curves up around like that. And this is all just coming up at like a plane. Really trying to simplify it, even though it looks really complex. Right, the top of the hair as it comes up and around. There we go. There's another plane here as it goes around. And then back down. I'm going to go ahead and shade all this area in here just to push it back a little bit. This is the neck. The neck would come out like that. This is the trapezium muscle. It's a whole other muscle that's in the back. And then this is where the shoulders would probably start coming in, but I'm not going to worry about it. You'd have a collar in here if he had a shirt on. Collar would go around. Something like that. Now what you can do is you can shade in the hair. Get the shade. Let's put I'm shading in the different planes. Get that plane in there. And then shading the hair because it's all one big mass. And I'm just really quickly just putting some hatch lines through there. And then the hairline, the back hairline in here. And when I go to my barber, they always ask, do you want it rounded or do you want it squared? I usually get it squared. So add a little bit of a square in there. There, kind of like that. I think that's pretty good. I think that's okay. I don't know. For me, it seems like it's usually, well, you know what it is? Yeah. The distance here, usually square right in here. I don't know if it needs to go out a little bit more. That's fine. All right, I think we'll call it a night, 7 o'clock. Anybody would like to share? We'll get to some of the drawing of the other heads. A little bit of a challenge. I'm going to perspective next week. And if there's any questions, if anybody would like to share.
Another question.
Yeah.
The face that's we did those 4 at the beginning and the last one was kind of tilted up.
Uh-huh.
I don't understand what's happening with the chin, like the curves under the chin.
Okay. Let me see. These 4.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's a good question. All right, so let's go back to those. Yeah, so basically it's really looking at the angles because you're looking up. Let's start with, let me see, what page was that? That was page, oh, here it is. This is page 22. All right, so this is front view. So front view is the easiest because it's just flat. This one we're looking down on. So the angles, if you see this, the plane of the face is almost like on sheet. So this actually should come down like that at that angle, right? So it's these planes, and we're really looking at the angles. So you can see the bridge of the head, or that that goes at that angle. This bottom should kind of be going at that angle. This mouth should be going at that angle. All this should kind of, like you see, kind of going at that angle. Here on this one, the angle's going up. So you can see that going up, the mouth going up, this whole phrase, this all going up at that angle, right? So there's that one. That's the third one. And then this one, this is probably the one that's probably the one that's the funkiest. But let's see if we can do this. This is going at that angle, that angle. We can see that angle here, this angle. It's slightly going up. And then here, the bottom, we're actually looking underneath. This is all underneath the space. So this chin is going here, and this is almost like a tangent, you would say, because it's going kind of going at that same angle. And I'm looking at the picture there too, and it's pretty straight. It's pretty straight, so it's kind of lining up. But these are kind of two different angles. So we get two different angles here, where this chin is and where the jawline is. They're kind of lining up. So this is probably the one that's not as clear. Let me see if I can put a line over it. Great question. See how I would redo this. Let's get another sheet of paper here. That one. There we go. All right. So let me see. I'm going to redraw this. I'm going to exaggerate the angles slightly. All right. So we still have this angle here. That angle, that mouth should be at that same angle. And they would go to a vanishing point. And these actually would taper as it goes back into space. It would go back into space. Right. So then from here, I would have it go in. I moved my picture. Where'd it go? Oh, page 25 has some nice heads. This is on page 22. Yeah, that's the one right there. Okay, so here's my plane. That angle, and then this angle, you see here, now I have it changed. I'm changing it back at that angle. But we're looking up. So that's actually not, we're looking up at that angle. It makes it harder to really see. But I did bring it up. Let me see, here we go. Let's try it again. I'm going to try it just from scratch. I'm going to just totally do it again from scratch. Really quickly. And so there's that. This is the front, this whole front of the face coming up at that angle. This angle there, that angle there. Now we're looking up at it, and he's got it kind of going straight. This really makes it, here we go. This angle here coming down. This should, yeah, because as this jog line goes up, because if it would be going down at this angle, because the jawline, actually this angle here, we talked about this one being at a almost a what, not a 90-degree angle, but there's an angle to this. Here we go. And I would put the ear back in here. Let's see, that's the sphere right in there. Back of the head. This is just one of those awkward angles. Sometimes you just got to fidget with. So this is the block of the head. I would say that's the block of the head. The nose coming out right about in there, coming down. The mouth being right in there. the brow line. That's the brow line, the cheek line, the cheek. The eye would be in here, another eye would be in there. And as you see underneath, you would kind of like get this chin space. That's what he kind of has going. Let's go straight up and down. Yeah, so this one you can kind of see it. This one's, especially with this line right here, really get that feel of him looking up. And this here, the bottom underneath, because you'll see underneath his chin because he's looking up. All that space. And he's got an Adam's apple right here, the original. Looking up at it. Those angles in the ear. Yeah, this is a really tough angle because it's almost like a straight line. And that's what makes that tough. Alrighty. All right, next week we will be here Tuesday, hacking away at this. Draw on your own and try to get some of these drawn on your own, and then we can share those, and then we can let's see, because sometimes you just got to struggle with it a little bit. I know it's a little hard to describe and explain as we're going here, but all these angles and the way it fits, you can see how I'm kind of like just this hairline. Actually, this looks probably, let me see, it's how they compare. Yeah, see this one got widened out. This one I think looks a little more. To scale or ratios or proportions. Yeah, I feel this one kind of like widened out. All right, but it's this plane. Hopefully that helps. May I do the honors? Yes. Do what honors, Josh? Hey, all right, cool. Let's see, let's take a look at some more of these faces. It really is just the practice. Don't worry about perfection, just worry about the practice and just copying the faces. I mean, I'm just going there and everybody's copying a copy. Let me see if we can, yeah. And we'll just continue, I guess, copying. This one page 27 has some really good skulls. Really like the skulls, and you can see actually the way the skull is attached to that sphere. Let me share my screen. There we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you can see the spheres, and then this actually the mandible. That's the mandible, the jaw, and the hinge, that how it's attached to there. So if the mouth were to open and close, it would open and close at that hinge right there. And here
What page is that?
This is page 27. 27, yeah, 27. That's a good one. Practicing these. And you can see that one too. Yeah, we're still at the beginning of the book. Let's just quickly go through it. And here's, you can see it, the different angles. These are really good. I think we were over here on 22. Yeah, we did these. A little more complex. And he does actually simplify on this other one. Yeah, this one here, you can see how it's simplified. The eyes don't have the pupils. It's really just really general space of where things go. And this one's even broken down into, well, you hear more detail with the eye and stuff. Here you can see it broken down into thirds or into 4 parts. And this one, that one's really good to draw. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Being able to see the skull inside, because the skull doesn't change. He mentions that. The skull doesn't change. It's just the muscles on top. And being able to see that structure underneath really helps make a solid, your drawing solid. And then the muscles that make the different gestures. The head tilts. Yeah, those are really good. The teeth. Building the head out of pieces, the planes. Oh yeah, I think we skipped all that. Yeah, we jumped to this one. We did those tonight. Here's some more with angles. Notice these angles. You see, here you can see you're looking down on the head. Here you're looking up on it. The different angles. This is kind of like the one we did, but facing a different way. And this is good. This one's on perspective. We'll do this next week. We'll do this next week. We'll do these next week. Yeah, let's just practice these. And then you really get into character. Yeah, these different characters with the different noses, different faces, variety and spacing and creating types. Yeah, see the different types. Round, square, wide, long. And there it is. That's it. We're going to call it a night.
Emotion.
Huh?
Emotion.
Yeah, emotions, expressions.
This.
Yeah, but you can see how he builds on top of that. So he has that structure and he just builds on top of that. Really builds on top of that. All these different emotions, expressions, you know, these faces. Then you totally lose the structure and he just goes, you know, it's underneath there. It's underneath there. That framework is there. You can see the rhythm. Yeah, there we go. And he's just really just focusing on what's on top here now. It's the rhythm and the lines of the head. And oh, he really breaks down the proportions here. You can see like the nose. Oh, this is a good one. This would be good to do. So practice is drawing as many as you can. Really just going through here. And the more you practice, the more you'll progress. Really just copying and copying. And you can hear the muscles. Anatomy of the head on that one. Yeah, the muscles. Worrying, having to frown, different things changing there. Relaxed, the muscle, how it tenses up, how it contracts. And here's the muscles, this muscle, here's the sternocleidomastoid, the trapezium. These two here almost make like this upside down V shape. Really interesting. I saw a man that I don't know what he had, but you can really see those muscles on him. There's that muscle again. The different angles. That's what makes it really challenging, these different angles, really pushing those angles and moving the head and to a 3D form, moving it around. And then, yeah, curves. All right, so that will be next week, right before the holidays. Look at the eyes. Yeah, it really goes into detail and drawing the parts. I kind of did this tonight, that circle with on one of the eyes. Yeah, we'll practice. Just practice. The nose shapes. Yeah, those are good. Just practice drawing all of them. All right. Any questions or anybody want to share? I'm going to turn off. I'm going to actually stop recording.